Miss Marlene, you're the problem. I don't know if you realize, Miss Marlene, but you are the reason that your son is the way that he is. At what age do you sit back? At what point, Miss Marlene, do you sit back and say, you know what? Maybe I'm the problem with Martell. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. Don't raise your children. Don't follow Miss Marlene's lead when raising your children. Don't. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tammy. This is Tammy Talks. Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is season 8, episode 1, Arrested Redevelopment. If you're back from last season, what's good, y'all? If you are brand new, welcome. If you have not already and you enjoy this video at any point, do me a favor, stop and hit that subscribe button. Thumbs up the video at the very least if you enjoy it, and then leave all your comments down below because there's a good amount to talk about from this episode. Our favorite show, The Hate Watch, is back. So much happens on this show that is unnecessary, that can be avoided, but you know, we still stick beside it for whatever reason. We're still here, all right? So the episode starts off with the media frenzy, the headlines that happened when Martel was arrested. So we all remember that day. It was breaking news that Martel was arrested. The charge was harassing communications DV. Harassing communications is the important part of the charge. A lot of people overlooked it. And then we get some scenes of like Stormy and Courtney looking and reacting to it. Courtney is like, this is a phone charge. Stormy says that this is vindictive of Mel. And I thought that was interesting. I don't think it's vindictive at all. I don't think it's vindictive. I don't. If somebody is harassing you, somebody is threatening revenge porn on you, if somebody is treating you in the way that Martel has been behaving, I think Melody is well within her rights to go and submit paperwork to the appropriate authorities, black man or not. But that's just me. But we'll get there. So we get these two juxtaposition scenes where Melody is talking to her brother Marcus and Martel is talking to his mama, Miss Marlene. Let's talk about Melody's scene first. So it starts off with Melody and she has her new security detail. Because Martel is an unhinged maniac, right? She now has to amp up and ramp up her security detail. So she got these men just all over, pinpoint, ready to tackle that fool if he come, running up on her house. So I don't blame her. Martel has proven to be unhinged. Martel still is very, very angered by the divorce. Martel is very, very angered that Melody is not just like forgiving and forgetting. He's unhinged, right? We have seen the interviews that Martel has done. We have seen the way that they have been going back and forth against each other on interviews and on what is that called? Instagram and all this other type of stuff. So I don't blame Melody for hyping up her security detail. So she is telling Marcus that she submitted the paperwork to the magistrate months ago. She said August, September. I don't know what month it is when they're filming. Now, she said while she had the ability that she could have been like, I know he's at home for sure during this time. I know that he's like for sure going to the grocery store or whatever. She decided against letting the authorities know where he was. She wanted to let God and the universe decide when he would be, picked up. So Martel has been going around with this active warrant. Melody was under the understanding that if he Melody was under the understanding that if he so much as got like put over for like a tail light being out or whatever the case, he would be arrested at that time. So she said she started to kind of feel like, man, why hasn't he been picked up yet? But God said 1 second, please. And that's what happened. So her brother, Marcus, is wondering if he turned himself in because did he know he had a warrant? Melody is like, man, now that I think about it, I mean, he did get the kids situated real quick. Maybe he did turn himself in. for all she knows. So Melody said that she tells her brother that, this is what is really going on. She recants the story, which we have all heard by now, that Martell wanted to start this Instagram page and act as if it was a different man that Mel had cheated with, and release a tape that the two of them had filmed as her being with this other man. So basically he wanted to make a whole little catfish profile and be like, this is a tape of me and Melody from X amount of year, date, whatever, that will coincide with her being married, so that Martell, who has been trying to beat us over the head by saying that she's cheating on him, he wanted to get, this was supposed to be his proof. So that is revenge porn. You can't do that. You cannot post a tape of somebody in that capacity. You can't. So Carlos so happens to FaceTime Melody while she's filming, coincidentally, to talk about the podcast that they're going to be doing, the Reality with the King, and he just wanted to kind of check in on her. Meanwhile, over yonder, Martell is talking to his enabling ass mama. Okay, so Miss Marlene said that, as a woman, Melody should have just, put on her big girl panties and handled this on her own. No, girl, Miss Marlene, your son is crazy. While I'm not in their marriage, obviously, I don't know the ins and outs of it. I don't keep up with all the social media mess surrounding Melody and Martell, because it's a lot. It's too much. It gets overwhelming at some point. But I think Melody has tried to handle this amicably with your son. And this was the result. So Marlene feels that Melody is bothering Martell. So Martell said this is what happened as to how he got arrested. He was down at the courthouse, I guess, to pick up some paperwork, and they told him, you got a warrant. So he said, okay, let me go situate my kids. Called his mama, told his mama, I need you to come pick up the kids. Mariah, I think, is the oldest. He was like, she could pick up on what's wrong, and she knew. I just told her I had to go talk to the people. So Martell ended up turning himself in. Martell sits in this confessional and says, kids need fathers more so than mothers. That's subjective. That's debatable. I'm more inclined to believe the latter, personally. Let me say this. I think that children need both parents, right? But that is not always the case. But it's very far and few that I think people would say, yeah, kids need their father more than they need their mother. But Martell seems to believe that the children are better off with him than Melody. Okay? It's his opinion. So his mother is saying that everything that's going on here, this is all affecting the kids. Melody is doing this to affect the kids. Now, it's very interesting how Miss Marlene is always Melody. Let's be real. Both of them have done things that have affected these children by way of this show and by way of social media. So Martell is acting a fool on this show. Melody herself has acted a fool in certain scenes on this show as well. So neither one of them are innocent in that. Melody has acted a fool on Instagram, and so is Martell. They are both equally affecting their children. However, some of the things that Martell is doing is ramped up to a higher level that I think that he's affecting the children way more than Melody is with a lot of his antics. None of this is good for the kids. Divorce always affects children. Both of their parents, Melody and Martell, are just taking it up a step and just making it unbearable. And a lot of this is because they are on TV. Y'all are on TV. So it's almost like they forgot that their children are going to be affected at a higher level because of the fact that they're on TV. And then Martell Jr. and Mariah are well of age to read and Google and even watch the episodes themselves. They have kids, that they go to school with, that their parents probably watch the show. So all of this is affecting the children. So Martell talks about the text message that he sent, and I said Martell would have an Android. That green bubble popped up on the screen, and I was like, Martell definitely gives green bubble energy. Let me put it up on the screen real quick. Okay, so this is the text message right here. Leave me the F alone. Stop speaking on me or anything about me. You're bullying me. You say one more thing about me at all, and I'm going to treat you like you treat me. I will go all the way in. It might ruin me, but you and your fans already trying. Now, please don't call my bluff, because at this point, I'm tired of you. Okay? Now, that is the message. That is the message. Martell, now, the message alone, is it a threat? Sure. Is it enough to get arrested for? Is it enough for Melody to be able to take that particular text message and go to the magistrate and say, this is harassment? It's not. And so the fact that Martell keeps saying, oh yeah, I just sent a message, and then whenever he's reminded there was a picture attached to it, then he's always like, there was a picture. So Martell, apparently, to my understanding, attached a picture to this text message that was, I think, a still shot from the tape that he and Melody made. That is why the courts were willing to pick this up and call it harassing communications. So Martell conveniently always leaves that out. He always makes it seem and says, I was just texting her and she had me arrested for a text message. You got to tell the whole story. Tell the whole picture. Paint the whole picture for us, okay? So Miss Marlene then said that, Martell, you're not chopping her down. You're not chopping her down, and she always chopping you down. Miss Marlene also tells him, keep being the man that you are. I want you to just keep being the man that you are. So let me get this straight, Miss Marlene. You want your son to keep being the disgusting, vile, narcissistic, manipulative, lying, cheating ass nigga that he has been. That's what you want your son to be. If that's what you say, in Miss Marlene's head, when she is looking at Martell, she is hearing, that's a good man, Savannah, and he's not. From what we can see, he's just not. You cannot enable somebody to this degree, right? If you want to be supportive of Martell and be there for him, sure. But the way that his mom is always like, you just made a mistake, and people make mistakes, and we come back from mistakes. No. How many times can Martell make a mistake before you realize, damn, my son might be ain't shit ass nigga? Like, I guess. So then we see Stormy. So Stormy is showing up at Nell's daycare, and Stormy looks great. She's lost some weight. She says she's been in the gym for the past 3 months. Good for her. She looks really good. Miss Nell asks her, who have you been talking to? Who haven't you talked to? This was a quick little gossip sesh, right? Stormy says she ain't talked to nobody. Hasn't talked to a person. So she's about to unload all the gossip that she knows. So apparently not apparently. We all saw Kiki unraveling. Kiki was on the YouTube streets. Kiki was on the Instagram live unraveling. So Stormy is talking about that, how Kiki was spiraling, and I guess Kiki was trying to blame this on her mom, that her mom was sending things to the blogs, and it came out that it was really Kiki. And I was with Nell. You've been defending Kiki so tough. You've been balls to the wall defending Kiki. Now all of a sudden, you want to kind of step away from her. That's cool. Stormy tells us how Kiki was apparently mad at Melody in Houston, but never told her. Kiki's not back on the show this season, and Kiki can't blame anybody but herself. It's the equivalent of like a housewife getting fired after one season. Like, Kiki, you brought this on yourself. We won't miss you. We won't miss your antics. Stormy then talks about Martell going to jail. Nell says she does not agree with it. She said because, as black people, and I'm sorry, like, in this case, and I think this is Nell doing the same thing that Martell's mother is doing. Nell is like, this could have been resolved without him getting arrested. Nell, you know these people. Y'all are their quote unquote counselors. Do you think that anything has been resolved with these people over the past X amount of years? Because we've been watching this for the past like 6 seasons at least, them going through this divorce and the aftermath of it. So for you to feel that it is okay for him to threaten her with the revenge porn and she shouldn't take any action against that, no. I'm not saying send every black man to jail every time you're mad at them. I'm not saying that at all. But I feel like we have to stop assigning color to something to make an excuse out of it. That's an excuse. That's excusing Martell's behavior. That's excusing it. If the situation could have been resolved, we wouldn't be where we are. We wouldn't be still watching this. There wouldn't be a show, but nonetheless. Stormy then brings up Sonny and Moses. Nell said that a man can only do what a woman allows. They talk about how, like, as Sonny, why would you even want to go after Moses knowing that he's been with Destiny? I guess we're going to hear more about their story and their plight throughout the season. So we see Destiny showing up at Tisha's house. Tisha, while the house looks nice, the kitchen looks nice, all that white, that big white island, and then with the black and gold backsplash, and then the black refrigerator, I don't know. It clashed. It clashed for me. That white island was jarring. But it looks nice, but it was just jarring. She said it's going for a California vibe. Destiny said it was going for a Miami vibe. Okay. It's a vibe. All right. I don't know if it's Miami or California, but it's definitely a vibe. So Tisha said this is just a taste of what's coming for the real house. That is your real house. Scott Manor is never coming. Scott Manor is never coming. It's going to be just as bad as what was Charade? The Chateau. Look how long the Chateau took. My God. So Destiny said that her and Sonny had, I guess, some type of friendship. You don't check in on people and say you love people and I miss you and all that type of stuff if you don't have a familial relationship with somebody, which I agree. If I don't consider somebody a friend or something to that sort, I don't call you. I don't reach out to you. I don't check on you. I don't say that I miss you. I don't give you, I love you when I get off the phone with you, that type of stuff, okay? Destiny feels that they were too close for what happened. Destiny said that Sonny would tell her that her and Moses were cousins because they would constantly run into each other at family events. No, they were going to family events, Destiny, and I feel like Moses' whole family played in your face too. That's what I get the vibe of. Moses' entire family played in your face along with Sonny. But, okay. Tisha feels like Sonny broke girl code. I guess we would need to know the extent of their relationship. Because from the trailers and what we're seeing Sonny say, they weren't like that cool. But we don't know. We got to get more information. Destiny feels it was extremely unprofessional, and it was. It definitely was. Tisha said it makes her want to hide her husband. Don't nobody want Marceau but you. Nobody wants Marceau but you, Tisha. Y'all are safe. Y'all are good. Destiny feels like Sonny's single white femaled her. I mean, she might have, sis. She might have. This is such a mess. Tisha's like, well, how did you find out? Sonny told her. So Sonny texted her and was like, look, I got something to tell you. There's no easy way to say this. But I've been seeing Moses and it's getting serious. So I believe it was right after Destiny and Moses broke up that Sonny texted her very quickly after I think maybe it was like maybe weeks or so after, to told her, I'm dating Moses now, and it's getting very serious very quickly. She has not talked to Moses. Destiny has not talked to Moses since then, and I'm assuming she hasn't talked to Sonny either. So they began to talk about Carlos's podcast with Melody. So they're like, "Are you going? Are you going?" And Tisha was like, "No, because it's going to be raindrops and millimeters there. And yeah, I'm not going into that lion's den because we know the millimeters do not like Destiny. I don't know how the raindrops feel about, I mean, Tisha, I don't know how the raindrops feel about them, but we know the millimeters don't see her for them. So they decide in this moment to talk about how these people, they don't like these women. Because let's be real, there's a difference between a millimeter and a person that just maybe enjoys Melody on the show, right? We all know and understand there is a very, very, very big difference. The millimeters are a very distinct group of people, a very distinct group of fandom. I have never seen a fan base, a group of stans that are so passionate about the person they stand outside of maybe like the Candy Canes with Candace on RHOP. So Tisha said the millimeters are middle-aged females that are unhappy in life. I was like, Destiny then said, no, they older than middle age, and then said that they are broken women. I said, sheesh. My flabber was gasted. Because for y'all, why did y'all run down on them people like that? I just kind of feel like it wasn't a good idea. It wasn't a good idea. Nonetheless, so then to add, what is it, injury to insult to injury. So then Destiny was like, they lack critical thinking skills. They gonna eat y'all asses. I almost want to go look at y'all Instagram comments tonight. They gonna light y'all asses up. Ooh, I couldn't believe they did that. So then we get to the podcast, and I feel like there's nothing to really talk about from this scene because by now, anybody that is like watching this show, a fan of the show, whatever the case, we saw this all play out, and we've actually like seen clips of the actual podcast. But a quick rundown. Apparently, Melody has never been to the prom, so Carlos makes her the prom queen of the podcast, I guess. Gives her a tiara and a sash. Okay. They talk about Melody saying how she's never orgasmed. Carlos wants to let us know he has a hook in the curve. We didn't ask you. Melody said, look, I enjoyed some of the experience with Martel, but you don't know what you missed out until you get it. You don't know what you're missing until you experience it. So, do I believe that Melody never orgasmed with Martel? I don't know, but she is standing very firm on that. Carlos then said that Martel lied about telling him to bring flowers. Remember they had that last meetup in, was like a coffee shop or something? And Martel, after the scene aired and everybody saw how like ridiculous Martel looked, he got on Twitter or Instagram and said that Carlos begged me to do this scene and Carlos made me take flowers and we are actors. And Carlos King feels like, don't question the integrity of my show and my production. These are not actors, and Melody, confirmed we're not actors. We are literally living out our lives. Let's be real. Anybody on a reality show, while you guys may not be actors and you are living out portions of your life, you are also still following on the cues that production is giving you. Y'all are being told kind of what to talk about in what scene on what day. But y'all are not actors. And then Carlos said that he did not tell Martel to take flowers. That is a lie as well. Melody says she wishes that she would have had children by somebody else. And that's deep. And I know that like sent Martel spiraling. Imagine how the children feel. I wish your daddy wasn't your daddy. Like, yikes. Melody's wish for Martel is for him to go to therapy and to just become a better man. Okay? Carlos brings out Sonny and Moses, and Melody's messy ass was like, "Congratulations." This episode, again, it wasn't a whole lot, but it was entertaining enough. Let me know what you guys thought about it. Hop in the comments section, leave some comments down below, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.